Hello everybody, good evening. It is Tuesday, April 21st, and we are live tonight over here on YouTube to make a fun fold card. Welcome if you've never been here before. My name is Anne Marie. I am the AM of Handmade by AM Bevel, and I'm glad that you're really here. You can find me here most Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Last Tuesday I did not have a video because I was under the weather. I had lost my voice, and this is probably the best I have sounded in over a week. I was even concerned at lunchtime today when I was on a meeting. I was very high-pitched sounding, and I was like, well, you know, I'm going to do a video no matter what. I had to go to the office because my computer wasn't connecting. It was kind of like a whole day today. So what I did for today's card is I went back to the Wayback Machine and looked through old Stamp Club cards, and I found a fun fold I think that my Stamp Club did in 2021 that I think probably is one that you see a lot, but it's actually really simple, and that's what I really needed for tonight. Hey Julie! So just as some quick reminders before we get started, that with it being April, our new catalog is coming out early next month, which means there are a lot of last chance products available right now, many of which are reduced. So shop early, shop often, because the longer you wait, the less likely that product that you don't want to miss out on will not be available, which is a great reminder of our in colors. I just showed that on Facebook. So the 24, 26 in colors, if I can do that correctly, are retiring. I do think there's a lot of items that are sold out already, but make sure to shop those in colors that are leaving so you don't miss out on any of your favorite products. And I'm actually using, my sample is of Shy Shamrock, I believe, because I do like the Shy Shamrock. For my local folks, I am hosting a crop on May 9th. Here in Topeka, and if you need additional information, if you haven't seen that, it is on my Facebook page. Reach out to me and I can get that information to you. I am also doing my very popular designer series paper share, with the designer series paper coming in the new catalog, as well as the paper that's going to be on the online exclusive, and that price is $45. If you are not in town and you would like it, I just charge like $3 to ship that to you. And for that $45, you get the equivalent. I probably don't have it on here. It's 123 6x6 pieces of DSP. My local folks, I cut the sheet of 12 by 12 in half, so you get a 6 by 12 if I need to mail it. It's much more cost effective to mail it as 6 by 6 sheets. And then for the first time, I'm doing an in-color product share, which is a lower price point at $25. And I'm doing that because I usually do a ribbon share, but there really were not a lot of new ribbons in the catalog and online offering. But the in-colors all have a new ribbon. So for $25, you would get 1 yard of each new in-color ribbon, which is the bordered ribbon. You're going to get 2 pieces of 6 by 6 of each color design of the 26-28 in color painted patterns paper, which is a 12 by 12 paper stack. So you're going to get like a paper share of the in color designer series paper. You're going to get a 6 by 6 sheet of each in color of the pearlized specialty paper that's coming out. And then you're going to get a third package of the in color dots and the in color butterflies. And you're going to love those butterflies. So I am trying out that is new. So you get ribbon and lots of other products for $25. And again, I think I say $4 shipping. If you happen to get the paper and the in color share, I will work on you about what to do extra shipping. So if you're interested in those, just please reach out to me. There is information on my Facebook page, or if you want to reach out to me specifically, you can feel free to email me, which is handmade by AM Bevel, all squished together, at yahoo.com, or you can send me a message over on my Facebook. There's a link in the description below. And Nikki's here. Hey, Nikki. So we're going to get started again. It's not going to be any anything crazy tonight. Again, it's kind of, I've been sick and the whole work schedule thing really threw me off today. But we are going to do some cutting together, which I think a lot of you really appreciate that. And look, everything's already messed up. You know, I work to do that. Oh, before I move on, do not forget when you're ordering to add the product of the month, this beautiful die. You're going to see it next week. Okay. You can add this to your order for $5 with your $75 order. It is a beautiful die. There are some tricks to it, but we're going to go over that in next week's video. It is a really, really cool die. So product of the month. If you're not into the die, there's other products that are available, including a stamp set. I'm going to actually use the birthday stamp set, or the birthday sentiment from the Notes of Spring stamp set. So this was the product of the month last month, and it is still available, and I'm using this happiest birthday wishes sentiment from this on the card today. See, there's my voice already starting to go. I think it started to sound good because I didn't talk a whole lot this afternoon. I've saved my voice for you. Okay, so for this card, I do have my trimmer out. Will I be able to cut upside down? I think if I do it this way, we'll see if I can cut live. That's always fun. Okay, so this is Timid Tiger. Of course, it doesn't matter what color you use, but for those keeping score, this is Timid Tiger. So for our card base, we're going to cut the 11 by 4 1/4. So it's our kind of our sandwich fold. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to score it in the middle at 5 1/2. So that's half of that 11. We're going to move the cut blade all the way up there. And then from one end, we're going to cut at 2 3/4, which is half. Now, 2 3/4 is up here. See, I was like, that doesn't look like half. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And we're actually, I love this fun fold because there's no extra pieces. And I don't have to like get anything extra. Now, however, if you wanted to make this a little bit more wow, instead of a cut here, I want you to do a score. And then what you could do is just trim off like 1/8 of an inch off the end. And this score, so if this was still attached, we would score it. And we could do a little punch here and do adhesive on these two ends, and then it would be a little gift card holder. You would, however, have to cut an extra piece of this right here, which is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Right? 2 3/4, 4 1/4. Look at me. So one of the other reasons I really like this fun fold, one, because I can do this and I don't need to have extra pieces. I can do just one regular base, but cutting this off and turning it this way gives me a little, it makes it a little bit more interesting. The other thing is you have the option of how you deal with the inside portion, and we will cover that when we get there. So for me, I'm dealing with, I have 2 pieces of designer series paper, and this is the front and the back. Excuse me. I said I've had no voice. I felt fine. Last Monday I did not feel good, but no voice. Both of these pieces are 4 by 2 1/2, so we need 2 of those. And then I also have cut a piece of white at 4 2 1/2. This is the inside, but this is where you have an option. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere these down. Now we could do this. My thing is which way do I want it? I could do it both this way, but I think I'm going to do this. So I've been working on birthday cards for children that could kind of be gender neutral. I don't know how, with the pink there, how gender neutral it is, but it's not screaming one way or the other, I don't think. So we're going to adhere these pieces of DSP down with your chosen adhesive. And this is like the same, and I kind of debated using this, but I think it's enough difference. And then this is going to go over the top. So just like that, that is the base of the card. But before we attach anything, we are going to put some ribbon on there. This would be optional. And don't ask me how long, because I'm going to just use it right off the spool. I'm going to tie a little knot. And I'm going to be adding just a sentiment. Now it's, again, great about this is maybe if I had reversed, if I had some fun dies, which I do have some fun, really new dies. There's these new balloons that I have, and y'all are going to be so sick of seeing balloon birthday cards, I think. I'm not going to be able to help myself. But that's just the way it's going to be. And so we're going to adhere this on. And so the trick is I'm going to use dimensionals. You wouldn't need to, but if I flip it like this, let's see, I've got these leftover paper pumpkin dimensionals. It's a great reason, a perk of paper pumpkin kits is the leftovers. I'm going to take this. And again, you wouldn't have to do dimensionals, but I do think it kind of adds a little extra. I don't know, maybe I should have one, right? Move my notebook. So this is my trick to adding a dimensional. I use the spatula end of the Take Your Pick tool. I go ahead and peel off the sticker. And then I can take it and stick it in there and press that down. So then the inside white piece, where you have options, I don't have a coordinating stamp set really to go with this. So it is the same size as the flap. So my trick to that, or what works for me, I have the adhesive. I do think using a tape adhesive tape runner is versus liquid glue. And I just kind of take it and I hold it and then press it down that way. Now you could certainly make this a larger piece so then you have the border. And I think that would be cute if, let's say, we had like confetti or something stamped kind of along the edge. So then you would have like maybe this space into this space to write. We could have stamped on just the card base as well, but I do think having maybe if the orange, if the DSPs were reversed, having the white full inside, like the standard, what we could do 5 1/4 by 4 or 3 3/4 by 5, having that white peeking out might be kind of aesthetically pleasing. Water break. And then for stamping, I'm just going to use the Timid Tiger ink pad with the Stylish Shapes banner, which has just been a great staple in our collection for a while. I love because there's banners, there's circles and squares all with the stitching, and even the negative has stitching. And we'll just take some dimensionals and decide where. Maybe I'll go down here. And then I just have some gold bling over here because there are some gold foil accents. And I do like the idea of putting some of the bling on the edge. Not with the cat hair though. It kind of feels against the rules to stick them down there. I feel like I'm breaking the law. But it's kind of cool to have this, and then you open it, you still have the little peak of the bling there. That one's really close to the edge. I don't know if I can lift it or not. Nope, it's down. It's fine. So it's super simple. It would be very, very easy to duplicate. You're using 1/2, a regular card base, and you're using very little DSP. And again, if you wanted to zhuzh it up, instead of this cut, do another score in the middle. And then I just recommend cutting a little bit off so you don't run into here. And you could do a little punch so it's easy to slide a gift card in or some money. And then you have just a perfect little easy birthday card. And here's, oops, things are just falling out. So here's the one I had made earlier. And this paper, it showed this is the Splashes Sparkles 12 by 12. I checked online because I thought, oh, maybe it's out of stock, retired. Excuse me. It says currently unavailable, but this is the paper I use. I kind of wanted to use this one, this blue and pink, but I thought that was too girly, so I was trying to find a little bit more gender neutral. So super simple, fast, easy. Again, you can zhuzh it up with some die cuts and things, but in this case I let the paper do the talking. I promise I'm going to be getting to more zhuzhed up cards here soon. But I know a lot of you also appreciate the simple ones. And I do think when you have specialty paper with these gold foils or any type of foil or texture on the paper, it kind of feels fancy without all of the extra die cuts and such. And when somebody gets this card, they do think it is kind of fancy, even though it's not. So no waste on this card. Oop, Nikki likes it. Thank you, Nikki. Again, super, super easy and fun. But just cutting half of that front off and tilting it. You could do it this way, I think. But you would probably bring, I should have done that. Bring this down so that the flap lines up here. And then you could probably have it would be like the same. You could go up to the top there. Does that make sense? Like we could do, it wouldn't be centered, but it would be I think that would work, yeah. It would be kind of cool to have it that way. So we would just make sure when you would hear this, you would make it even with the back here. I didn't think about that when I made the sample. I would have probably done a sample that way. So something to add to your arsenal, I'll just plop this up here real quick so it would make it easier to pause later and to check out. We'll keep that down. And it's just going to be a quick one tonight because I already feel my voice already leaving. I would like to participate in choir practice tomorrow, but we shall see what tomorrow brings. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you for being here. If you're still here and you haven't yet, please make sure to like the video, subscribe if you have not already. If you're watching the replay, make sure to leave a comment down below so I know that you were here. And I do plan to see you all next week. Like I said, we're going to check out that product of the month, that detailed die. It's really, really cool. We're going to have Yeah, I think that'll probably be the only thing that I really show off next week. I was like, oh, I could show the other thing too, but I think that'll take too long. The shorter videos, I think, are nicer. And again, I need one more sip of water before I say bye. All right, so I hope that you have a great week. And hey, if you are still watching, even more, one, let me know what you've been working on. It's like kind of like a weird time. Easter's over. You know, are we just stocking up on birthday cards? What are we doing? And then also just a reminder that for less than $1, you can send a smile. So make sure that you send out some cards this week. Bye, everybody. Have a great evening.